Purshkovsky is an exchange-listed company that builds thousands of housing units throughout Israel. The company takes action to provide a safe work environment such that all its employees will return to their homes and families healthy and safe. Safety at work, first of all. Safety training. At the beginning of the work, the employee will undergo safety training by the foreman in cooperation with a safety assistant on site. The employees will receive information about the risks that exist on the site. Personal protective equipment. Before entering the site, it is mandatory to be equipped with personal protective equipment. Work shoes with protective dome and sole that prevent sharp objects from penetrating the foot. Wearing of safety helmet for head protection. Wearing of glow vest. For the performance of various tasks, the employee is required to use additional protective equipment such as safety eyeglasses for eye protection, earplugs for hearing protection, protective gloves for protection against injury to the hands, respiratory protection mask, access control system with carousel. At your initial entry to the site, you will not be allowed to proceed before presenting the required credentials and receiving a safety briefing. And yes, signing a safety document. Entry and exit to the site will be done only through the safety post. Safe passage. On the site, you must walk only through the places defined and marked as a safe passage. Construction elevator. If the site where you work has an elevator, use it. Do not use the elevator during a fire. Remember, only a certified employee who is appointed by means of an appointment form by the project manager can operate the elevator. Summer safety instructions. In the summer, be sure to apply sunscreen to areas of the body exposed to the sun and drink plenty of water during the work. Tools in good working condition. Use only tools in good working condition without any modification or defect. Do not improvise. Do not remove any protective measure provided by the manufacturer. Work with a machine only when the shield is in place. Do not use a standard plug, only an industrial plug. First aid. The site has a number of first aid kits marked with signage for use when needed. Disposal of waste. Dispose of waste or objects from the building only through the debris sleeve or in a debris container designated for this purpose. Work at height. Work performed at a height exceeding 2 meters is defined as work at height. Do not work without presenting a valid certificate according to the field of work at height covered by it. Ladders. Before using a ladder, check the functionality of the opening restriction device on the sides of the ladder, anti-skid rubbers, and that there are no missing or loose rungs. Use of a defective ladder is prohibited. Do not repair a damaged ladder. The ladder should be placed on solid ground, making sure the ladder stands on all 4 uprights. Climb the ladder with the face towards the ladder. The employee shall maintain 3 contact points at all times. Do not climb above 3 steps from the top of the ladder. Scaffolding. Before using a portable scaffold, check that the scaffold is stable and the wheels are locked, that there is a safety railing consisting of a handrail, a middle guardrail, and a foot plate to prevent objects from falling. Climbing will be done from inside the scaffold only. Where there is no proper safety railing, you must wear a safety harness and be tied to a suitable anchor point against fall from height. A scaffold over 6 meters high will be built by a certified scaffold builder. Mechanized scaffolding. Before starting to work, check existence of a valid inspection review by a certified inspector. If not, work with a mechanized scaffolding is prohibited. Operation of a mechanized scaffold shall be done only by an employee who has undergone height training on the use of mechanized scaffolding and who has been certified and appointed by means of an appointment form by the project manager. Appropriate protective equipment should be used: safety helmet, safety harness, and safety rope. Lift platform. Before starting work, check the existence of a valid inspection review by a certified inspector. If not, work with the platform is prohibited. Operation of a lift platform shall be done only by an employee who has undergone height training on the use of mechanized lift platforms and who has been certified and appointed by means of an appointment form by the project manager. The lift platform must be in good working condition. Appropriate protective equipment should be used: safety helmet, safety harness, and safety rope. Upon entry to the platform, connect to a defined anchor point on the platform. Work with the lift platform shall be done together with a second worker whose task is to watch and provide direction from the ground level. Balconies. Before each use, check the integrity of the equipment. Pay attention that the ring closure is closed and secure the lock by rotating it. Working at height on a balcony where there is a risk of falling requires the use of a harness and fall arresting system, as well as checking and connecting it to an anchor point. Safety railings. It is forbidden to dismantle or remove safety railings without the approval of the foreman. If a disassembled guardrail is discovered or is not assembled properly, report to the foreman and to the safety assistant. An internal elevator shaft requires screen cover. Do not leave openings with depth of more than 2 meters without fencing and glow marking. Work in a confined space. Confined space, such as water reservoirs, sewer channels, etc., is a place unfit for human presence. This is a place that could pose risks to the health and safety of the employee. Before entering a confined space, a comprehensive inspection of the air quality should be performed by means of a suitable gas detection device. Do not enter confined spaces without receiving training from the foreman and without proper protective equipment. An employee may enter a confined space only when accompanied by a watchman who is positioned near the doorway. Working with a crane. Working with a crane requires a crane operator with a suitable and valid license. Signaling and marking operations to the crane operator will be performed by a certified signalman. The signalman is identified by a blue-colored helmet and a vest with the word signalman. The signalman should be in eye contact with the crane operator using a communication device in good working condition. Hoisting works. Lifting or lowering of molds shall be done with the use of an eye hook in good working condition. Equipment and material should be hoisted by means of a lifting and transporting box bearing a valid inspector certificate. Hoisting of equipment and materials shall be done only with the use of a proper lifting accessory. Do not hoist equipment without a balanced bracing and tie. Do not hoist loads above people or outside the site area. In case of winds above 40 km per hour, no load should be hoisted. Fire extinguishing. The site has several fire extinguishers to be used when needed. When the pressure gauge dial is in the green area, it indicates that a fire extinguisher is in good working condition. When performing work that produces heat, make sure that a fire extinguisher is located in the work area. Flammable materials should be kept away from the work vicinity. In case of fire, pull out the guard, press the handle with one hand, and with the other hand aim the hose at the bottom part of the flame center and extinguish the fire. Disconnect the electrical power supply and notify the foreman. A clean and tidy work area will prevent fires, slippage, and falls. Heavy machinery. Heavy machinery shall be operated only by a qualified person with a suitable driver's license. Stand at a distance of 2 meters from the work vicinity of the heavy-duty vehicle. Do not stand behind a heavy-duty vehicle whose operator does not see you. Maintain eye contact with the equipment operator. Be alert for the backwards travel horn of the vehicle. Forklift. Operating a forklift requires a suitable and valid driver's license. It is mandatory to fasten the seatbelt while operating the forklift. It is mandatory to use hearing protection when operating a diesel-powered forklift. Excavation and earthworks. A pit or excavation exceeding 2 meters shall be fenced and marked with prominent marking. No person shall enter a pile hole. Do not enter an excavation at a depth of more than 1.2 meters without the approval of a foreman. Night works. Do not work in or pass through unlit places. For night work, it is mandatory to wear a glow vest on site. Remember, anyone who does not follow the safety rules endangers his life and the lives of those around the site. An employee who does not comply with the safety rules will be sanctioned and is subject to a fine and removal from the site.